Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and once again it is time for a bench press day. If you're watching this on Facebook, toss me some stars. Otherwise, just feel free to like and comment below. PR today. Very, very, very happy with this. If you guys saw from the reels and shorts already, 5 reps, paused a little longer on the 5th rep. 5th rep was a little slow, lets me know this was probably a 5 rep max, meaning there was serious doubt in my head as to if I could get a 6 rep. Everything's controlled, we're flat footed, we're paused, right? This would all be meet legal reps. Real happy with that. It means my bench is getting real close to 400 pounds. I'm not going to test a max. People have said, oh, when are you going to hit that 405? I don't have a time frame. It's this year. I'm going to get it this year. I'm not even going to try until I know I can do it for almost a training max. In other words, I'd like to come in and have my calculated max, if I were to plug it into a calculator, be 5-10 pounds over 405. Okay? Right? In other words, what are we looking at? At least 350 for 5? 365 for 3 to 4. That's what I'd like to see. Something in that range before I go for it. Overall, watching volume a lot here, because here's the thing. I've come in and hit these best numbers when I've had weeks to where I almost deloaded the back half of the week, which tells me I do need to be very careful with my volume. These exercises I'm using all give great carryover, but we've got to maximize recovery. We have to maximize hypertrophy. So what's that mean? Well, from a training perspective, that means I need to not have any junk volume, minimize junk sets. So most of these movements, I just did 2 sets because when I do the math, I'm like, these are real work sets on these peak sets. Now, they count as a set of flat bench. Come in and do 2 sets of 10 afterwards, challenging sets of 10 with a couple reps in the tank. Get a good training response. Trying to do most of it paused, right? It's not touch and go. They're not always long pauses, but they're pauses. Pause a lot on the last rep. Get some good quality volume benching in with pauses, build the chest. Then I come in and I push incline work. I like one good kind of ramp up set. So in this case, again, I want to have no more than 3 or 4 reps in the tank on the first set. And I want to take the last set to about 1 rep in reserve. Right. So what that meant is I'm going to keep trying to PR that. My goal is I'd like to get up to where I can do sets of 10 with 225 on the incline. I feel like when I can do that, I'm going to be real close to that 405 bench. Real close just in terms of development. But the pause benching is critical. Notice that that's done a lot for my bench. Instead of saying, hey, what's the heaviest weight I can use? Like, no, let's get in and pick a good, comfortable weight. Try to progress on it with challenging sets to where I can pause everything, particularly the last reps, and about 245 right now. I feel like I can go up to 250 now. I know I could get 2 sets of 10 on it now. Go up on that. But even then, like if I want to stick with 10s, maybe when I get to about 255 for 2 sets of 10 after the peak work, we're in a good spot. Same thing on this incline. And I think those are fair goals too. We talk about carryover. I feel like those are fair goals. I can get both of those for 10s in the same workout. I probably do have my 405 bench. At least I have the muscular development for it. So what are we doing for other work? Barbell rows. Then I'm doing these dumbbell rows. Now the dumbbell rows, these both carry over to my deadlift a lot. Yes, they matter for bench. Yes, they matter for controlling the eccentric. They matter for that touch point. Because that's the one thing I noticed with these reps too. If I touch too high on the chest, it saps my power. I need the upper back strength to put that bar right where I need it. And when I go to do it on a max later, if I miss that touch point, I'm in trouble. So I need to always be able to do it on the first and the last rep of those peak sets that I'm doing. I need to be able to touch that spot perfectly. All right, when I touch that spot, the incline seems to have carryover when I look at where the bar paths are. All right, so where I stick at, incline bench has tremendous carryover. At least the sort of, relatively steep incline. I'm doing those on a 45 degree. Granted, I'm shifting up a little bit as it gets harder. I want to keep working on that, but I'd like to be able to stay completely planted for 10. Of course, we do the dumbbell rows here because, again, all the deadlift carry over the grip strength, but also helps me control the eccentric better on the bench so I can get to that perfect touch point. So I'm going to just work on progressing on these. I'm going to keep progressing on these. I feel like they work really well. And on the other hand, also, I talk about triceps. I'm not really feeling my triceps on those hard sets. Triceps are not really limiting me, but I need to make sure that they don't. Just keep in mind, my close grip was as strong as my flat bench, my normal bench. I've been working on building those muscles up. So realistically, my triceps are probably stronger than my pecs, or at least have been historically. I feel like all this pause volume, all the pause incline will help correct that. But by that same token, my triceps can handle a lot more work. And I feel like when I get into those serious work sets, sometimes locking the last rep or two can become difficult. So I need more triceps. So we'll continue to work triceps just to make sure they don't limit me. Did 2 sets of power curls. And I want to be clear, these are power curls. I'm not counting them as a strict curl. I know there's body English. I know there's forward lean. I've made videos explaining why I do these. I feel like they give good deadlift carryover. Keeping in mind, when I do these, we always lean forward. That is to protect the biceps from tears. And since we're getting eccentric overloading because we're cheating a little bit, it's fine because the end result is still the same amount of tension on the bicep. But we're also making sure that heavier tension on that eccentric is not catching us right at that point where biceps tend to tear from things like preacher curls. So it is done really as an exercise that I feel like will carry over to protective benefits to the biceps on the deadlift. It's a great bicep exercise, but it also does work the upper back. Again, bench carryover, and it works the grip. I need these for the deadlift carryover. So like the barbell rows, the cheat curls, or power curls, these things are being done very specifically, honestly, for my grip training. They're a big part of it, which is for my deadlift, even though I do them on bench day. Okay, but we need to be clear, these are all important stabilizer muscles for the bench. And then after I do the 2 sets of extensions, because I do notice on those, my elbows still feel that. I almost feel like I'm going to get some tendonitis, but I don't ever seem to get it. During the sets, right at the end, I feel that area of the tendon a lot. So we're going to continue to work these press downs so that we can keep getting stronger, because I feel like I can keep adding weight to those and getting stronger at them, but I have to keep the elbow tendons healthy. This band work allows me to do that. It allows me to increase work capacity on the lockouts, which will carry over to my bench volume work. So it all kind of feeds together into each other. But keeping in mind, these at the end, these are done just for that, to build that work capacity. It's there to build tendons, keep tendons healthy, so I can keep pushing the Skullcrushers up also, even though I feel like the incline is my biggest accessory. So I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.